Hello, students. Good evening. This is Teacher Brenda, and welcome to my 10 Minutes Math channel. Today, we would look into the topic of time, part 4, in which we will explore what is a day. Okay, all of you know that we have days like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and back to Sunday, and it repeats again and again, week in, week out, day in, day out. But if I asked you, what exactly is a day? How do you calculate a day? You would probably give me the answer that a day has, yes, I heard that, right? I think 24 hours. You're kind of familiar with that. Yes, we have 24 hours. And that makes up one day. Okay, so what exactly it's a day? It's made up of 24 hours. So if you have 2 days, then it's 24 plus 24, then it's 48 hours. If you have half the day, then it's 24 divided by 2, that's 12 hours. So we can understand a day in terms of the hours that we have. Okay, now let's clear this and move on. Now, my next question would be, when does a day begin? Okay, when do you know it's the start of the day? Like, for example, today it's Wednesday. Okay, when did Wednesday begin? So you don't please tell me that, please don't tell that, the day began when the sun rose in the morning. Nope. Okay, according to our clock system, the day begins at 12 midnight. So from midnight, 12 o'clock, which means it's exactly the minutes hand and the hours hand is pointing at 12. Okay, it's called midnight. Usually you're sleeping. Okay, it will go to 1 o'clock, the first hour of the day, 2 o'clock in the morning, second hour of the day, 3 o'clock in the morning, third hour of the day, and so on. Usually you are sleeping at this time. Then at 7 o'clock in the morning, you are usually on your way to school if it's not COVID time. And that means 7 hours of the day has passed. Remember, we have 24 hours, right? The first 5 to 6 hours, you're practically sleeping, okay? Then at 7 to 8 and 9, and that's when you see daytime. It's practically the sun over here. And during the early morning, it's usually night. Okay, it's dark. But that doesn't mean the day has not started. So you would reach from midnight until what we call as noon. Now, what is noon? Noon is exactly at 12 in the afternoon. And when you have reached from 12 o'clock to 12 o'clock, you have clocked 12 hours. That means 12 hours of the day has passed. Half of the day is gone. So if 12 hours is gone, which means we have another 12 hours. So the clock makes another circle around. Now this time it starts from 12 in the afternoon. Okay, so it goes to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And all this is still daytime. It's still, we call this afternoon. Okay, eventually it go to evening. At 6 o'clock, we say 6 o'clock in the evening. All right. And it will clock the next 12 hours of the day from noon until midnight. So 7 o'clock it's sunset, 8 o'clock it's pretty much dark most places, okay? And from there, 9 o'clock, 10, 11, and back to midnight. So that's how you get another 12 hours. So this is called before noon, and this is afternoon. We have 12 hours before noon and 12 hours after noon, okay? And that brings us to our next understanding of the term AM and PM, okay? For example, okay, here, okay? So for example, what is AM? So AM is the first 12 hours of the day, which is from 12 noon until 12 in the afternoon. Sorry, from 12 midnight until 12 in the afternoon. Okay, that's how I get to this slide. Okay, so you see this, the first 12 hours of the day, okay, from midnight until midday, this range is known as AM. AM stands for ant meridian. Okay, it means before midday. All right, then the next 12 hours happens. Okay, and that's called PM, which is post meridian, which means it's after midday. So midday is like the center point. Okay, midnight, it's like the starting and the ending. Okay, so you have 12 hours AM and 12 hours PM, and that gives us 24 hours in a day. Okay, let's move on to this. Say, for example, reading the clock here. Okay, hours of the clock. So when you have a clock here and we look at this and we'll say immediately, oh, this is 1 o'clock. So we can write this as 1, put a dot, and if it's in the afternoon, we would say PM, or if it's in the morning, we would say AM. All right, we can use and write it digitally like this, or we can say 1 o'clock like this. Okay, you can write it out in words, 1 o'clock. Okay, same goes for this. This is 2 o'clock, and this could be 2 AM. Okay, it could be 2 AM, or it could be 2 PM. That we wouldn't know. Okay, from the clock face, we can only read the time. So unless we are talking about 24 hours, or unless we can see visually there is a moon or there is a sun outside, it's bright outside, then we will know whether it's daytime or nighttime and put in the AM, PM properly. Okay, so let's move on to this. Okay, this one is talking about AM and PM again. So the clock shows the time at which Liam went to bed. For example, here, okay, Liam went to bed at this time. Write down the time using AM or PM. So it's 10 o'clock, we can understand this is 10, okay? However, we have to use our sense to understand he went to bed. Would you go to bed at 10 o'clock in the morning? Most probably not, right? So it should be PM. So that's what sometimes you have to have a logical deduction. Okay, so AM is morning times. Okay, it's from midnight until noon, and PM is afternoon times from noon until midnight. If you can understand that, then we can move on. Okay, to our next slide, or next slide that shows the 3 hands of a clock. Okay, so basically a clock has an hour hand, which is usually the shortest. Okay, and it moves pretty much very slowly, because it will, like, from 1 o'clock it will go to 2 o'clock. It will be moving, but it will be moving very slowly. How slow it moves? It just moves according to the minute's hand. When the minute's hand makes one complete circle around, then the hour hand will move. 1 hour. So you know now that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So which is the minute's hand? It is one of the long ones, okay, that moves pretty much every 60 seconds. The minute hand will move from this part to here, from a little part here, every 60 seconds. So 1 minute is then 60 seconds, and that is shown by the seconds hand. So the seconds hand is pretty much the smallest. You actually have millisecond, but it's not in your syllabus. So you could understand the seconds hand moves like this, almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have a clock at home that shows the hands for the seconds, you would have it moving all the time. You can see how it moves. So it will reach 12. So it starts at 12. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will make a whole circle of 60, and that's called 60 seconds. And that's when the minute hand will just move 1 minute. So 60 seconds will make 1 minute. And what can you do in 60 seconds? Can you go to the bathroom and come back in 60 seconds, in 1 minute? So test yourself, okay? Or would you take 1 hour to sit in the bathroom? You know, so 1 hour means there are 60 minutes inside. So there are many seconds there, okay? So with this understanding, okay, we go on to look at the clock. So the minute's hand points to the minutes, obviously. So you can understand when the minute hand goes to point at 1, there's already 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's already 5 minutes clocked. Okay. When it goes to then 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, when it points at 2, that will be 10 minutes. And then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 minutes, the minutes hand will be pointing at 3. So this helps us to actually understand that if you can relate this 1 to 5, 2 to 10, 3 to 15, it's almost like reading your times table 5. It's like 1 times 5, 5, 2 times 5, 10, 3 times 5, 15. So when your minutes hand, whatever number it's pointing at, if it's pointing at 9, then it's 9 times 5, 45 minutes. If it's pointing at 11, then it's 11 times 5, 55 minutes. It's an easy way for you to read your minutes. Okay, if you understand your times table 5 is right there on the clock. Okay, so with that, we move on and we see to this. Okay, matching. Okay, in other words, these are parts of the clock. Okay, which is the hour hand. Okay, the hour hand is obviously the smallest, the shortest hand here. This is the hour hand. Okay, this is the hour hand. Okay, which is the minute hand? The minute hand is the longest. Usually, most clocks will have this too. Okay, so this is your minute hand. And which is the second hand? There is one more here, which will be running all the time, will be moving all the time. This is your seconds hand. Okay. And then there are lines. So this one, this is the hour number. It shows the hour. So if your hour hand shows to 1, it means it's 1 o'clock. If your hour hand shows to 3, it's 3 o'clock. If your minute hand points to 1, then it's 5 minutes. If your minute hand points to 12, it's either 60 minutes or the start of a new hour, which is 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. If your minute hand points at 9, so 9 times 5, 45 minutes. Okay, and this one finally is known as your minute line, those small lines. So there are 60 lines around the whole clock. So with that, we move on to the next slide, and that is, hold on. All right, drawing the hands on the clock face. Okay, so how do you draw 5 o'clock? So for 5 o'clock, the hour hand is exactly at 12. All right, and the minute hand would be pointing exactly at 5. This is 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever o'clock, the hour hand will always be at 12 and the minute hand will be pointing to the respective numbers. This is for full clocks, okay, or when it's a complete hour, okay, of the day. Now, what if it's like this, 7:15, which means what? 15 minutes have passed since 7 o'clock. Okay, this is what it means. 7:15 means 15 minutes past 7. Okay, so which means earlier my hour clock, my hour hand must have been at 7, but now it would have moved a little bit, but not so much because it's only 15 minutes. And then to show the 15 minutes, I would have to use go and point at 3 because 3 times 5. This is 15. This is 5 minutes. This is 10 minutes, and this is 15 minutes, which means my minute hand will be pointing exactly at 3. Okay, and that means it's 15 minutes. All right, let's look at 12:30. What if it's 12:30? Now 12:30 means there are 30 minutes already passed, which means my minutes hand would be pointing at 6. Okay, because 5, 10. Okay, if you counted the minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So exactly at 6, there's 30 minutes, half of the hour, half an hour. Okay, but it's 12 o'clock. Earlier it was 12 o'clock. Okay, so the short needle would have been here earlier, but it wouldn't make sense for you to still draw it pointing to 12 because 30 minutes have really passed. So it's like almost half the hour has gone. So to make a good estimate, you take half the space of this. Now this is the space between 12 and 1. So if you notice there's this area here, you take the middle part. The middle part is somewhere here. All right. This is like the middle. This is like middle. So you draw an hour hand, which is usually short, and you put it in the middle like this. Okay. So this is how you could draw 12:30. Okay. To be very precise. Don't go and put it near 1. Don't go and put it near 12. It should be somewhere in the middle. Now, how about 6:45? Okay, now to draw 6:45, look at the minutes hand first. The minutes hand is at 45 minutes. So I know 45 means it's 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So this, my minutes hand is settled. Now look at my hour hand. It was 6 o'clock. Then it must have been 6:15. It must have been 6:30. It's now 6:45, which means in another 15 minutes, it's going to be 7 o'clock. Now, it wouldn't make sense for me to write or draw my short needle or short hand or hour hand right at 7 because it's not yet 7. It also wouldn't be logical to draw it at 6. It wouldn't be making sense. You also can't draw it in the middle between 6 and 7. It's because if you say it's halfway between 6 and 7, then you're talking about 30 minutes. So what is the best way to draw it now? Okay, it is to figure out between the half of half. Okay, so let's look at this. If I were to draw a space between 7 o'clock and 6 o'clock, okay, so this is 6:45, right? So it must have started at this 6 o'clock and now it's going to be 7 o'clock. And this is halfway point. Okay, this is halfway. Now, this is the half of half. So you are now at 45. So your hour hand should be somewhere like this. It is not yet 7. Okay, and it's more than half. It's more than half of the time, half of the hour, but it's not yet at 7. That could be the closest accurate drawing that you could do. All right. So if I'm going to do that again a bit neatly. So I would assume that my half is running somewhere here. Okay. And the full 7 is somewhere here. Okay. So I'm going to take this place or this space right in between these two lines. So I'm going to draw like this. And this would be my hour hand. Okay. So 6:45. It hasn't reached 7 yet because you have another 15 minutes before you reach 7 o'clock. That's why your hour hand should not be pointing at 7. So these are some small details to attention when you want to draw the hour hand or the minute hand on the clock. Okay, so let's clear this and let's look at the last slide that we have here. And that is, of course, reading and writing time. So over here, this is pretty easy. You look at the hour, it's 1, okay? And you look at the minute, it's 20. So it's 1:20. We do not know whether it's AM or PM. It could be AM, it could be PM. Over here, it's 3, it's past 3, okay? And there's 4, okay? It may not be exactly because you look, 8 is here. So it could be pointing like 2 minutes. So if this is 40, then it looks like this is 42 to be very precise, okay? And even then, if you go back to this question, okay, it looks like it hasn't reached 20 minutes. Maybe it's pointing at 18. So you have to be a bit accurate here. And so you write there 1:18, okay? Of course, with the digital age, you just look at your watch or your computer. It gives you exactly the time. Over here, it looks like it's really sitting at the 7 there. So that's 35 minutes. And this is past 8. Okay, it's already past 8. It's going to be 9. So it's 8:35. We do not know AM or PM. It's just the clock. Okay, so that's all for this session. I hope you understand what is a day made of. Okay, with 24 hours, AM, PM. And then understanding how the minutes are calculated on the clock, okay, as well as drawing the clock accurately, okay, reading and writing time. So thank you very much. If you like this video and you learned, then you please like and share. Okay, thank you very much. Bye. Have a good day.